So now you, as an applicant, have to decide, okay, where should I send my one early application? And this is where the going for gold, settling for silver really starts to get to you, right? Because there might be a school that you've been dreaming to go to. Penn, my employer, is early decision. It's a phenomenal place, filled with great students. So I could totally see why somebody would say, like, that is where I absolutely want to go. That is where I want to send my early decision application. Now, the question is, how does your application package compare to the folks who are applying? Because if you are not competitive against our whole swath of applicants, right? We have very high admission standards. And so, if your SAT score is well below what kind of the lower bound of what we normally accept is, or maybe it's like not so bad, but your GPA is kind of low, or you don't have any extracurriculars, like the things that the admissions committees are looking for, right? Then if you're not going to be competitive to get into Penn, it doesn't matter if you apply regular or early, because it's not going to happen. And so then all of a sudden you start thinking, well, maybe that's a candidate who should consider settling for silver. Maybe there's a school that's not your absolute top choice, but a school that maybe is your second or third choice, but one where you actually are competitive, maybe marginal. Maybe if you apply early you'll get in, but if you waited a couple months and applied regular, you wouldn't. Right? That's somewhere where the benefit of the early decision becomes very, valuable to you. And so that's a case where, again, it is settling, right? If you've wanted to go to Penn your whole life, it's hard to say you shouldn't apply there. But if you're looking at Penn and thinking, I really want to go to Penn, but I actually like this other place, almost as much, and maybe I'm more competitive there, that's a settle for silver situation. That's a, like, don't waste your shot at a place where it's not going to go, when there is a place that you are kind of almost equally or kind of close to, happy about. That would be an obvious case where you should settle.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Temple. Go to Temple.
My mom went to Temple. She went to Tyler School of Art. She loved it. So I have great things to say about my Philadelphia neighbor university.
That's great.
But that's the kind of thing, and so you can see this settling for silver, going for gold thing. It comes up a lot in these, what I call hidden markets, because it comes up a lot in situations where you are competing with other people for desirable, scarce resources. And if you are thinking carefully about what other people want, and recognizing that, maybe you want something because, well, I should say it's two things. One, it's strategically, it might be better not to go for the thing that everybody else is going for. Another thing that, again, this is where the kind of behavioral economist in me comes out, is that one of the key things you have to do in hidden markets is think very carefully about what it is that you want, and often why you want it. Right. So I was describing a situation where your decision to go for gold or settle for silver depended on how much you wanted to go to your first choice school versus how much you wanted to go to your second choice school. There is a psychological phenomenon that I have studied in a lot of my research that says we often go for things because other people are going for them.
Yes.
Social proof, it's called, or, I study social information. When I learn that other people are doing something, how do I react to that? If that's driving some of your decisions, that's going to be a real killer for you, because it's going to make you want this thing that everybody else wants. And then you're going to be competing for something that you're not going to be able to get. You're going to be very disappointed. And so stepping back and saying, you know, okay, what do I actually want this? Am I only interested in it because other people are interested in it? If that's the case, let me try to take that out of the equation and think kind of apples to apples with a better kind of comparison. Like, how do these two schools actually stack up on my preferences, ignoring, how all of my friends are applying to school A. And, that is an important process to go through. That is a hard thing to do. Figuring out what you want is hard to do. Right. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with having the parents figure out which elementary schools they want to send their kids to. That is hard to do. But
Yes.
that's something you have to do, in addition to, in some markets, think about how to, okay, once I've decided, how do I strategize in this market, given that, I really want A, or I'm actually okay between A and B. I want A a little bit more than B, but I'd be happy with B. Like figuring out what you want and then figuring out the strategy are kind of both key to succeed here.